This video is sponsored by my band, Paul and Andy. Stream our newest single right now wherever you stream your music. Sup dudes, it's Snail. So a while back I ran a poll asking you guys what you wanted to see more videos about. As you know, I do Fallout 4 mods here on the channel, and there's a lot of mods out there and I could go many different directions, but I put it down to 4 options, and weapons, unsurprisingly, 1. This is good, because weapons happen to be my favorite kind of mod for Fallout 4. So today I'm delivering on that promise, and we're gonna look at 15 classic World War II weapon mods that you can put in your game today. All the mods will be in a collection down in the description, and keep in mind this collection is only compatible with version 1.10.163. This is pre-next gen update, and if you need instructions on how to roll back your game version, check out this video up in the corner. But before we get into the weapons, I think we should go over some cosplay first, because after all, what good is a weapon if you're not going to look the part as well? And for today's video, we're wearing this wonderful USA Paratrooper uniform made by POV Combat. It's a wonderful high-res paratrooper mod that comes with 2 different backpacks, 60 unique combinations in uniform, and 324 unique combinations in paratrooper helmets. Combined, that means that there's 386 different ways you can wear this uniform. It is the cutting edge in modular military outfits for Fallout 4. Now, in order to use it, you're going to need the Armorer 2 perk, and it's going to cost you cloth or steel, although visual upgrades at the workbench can be performed for free. And there's also an optional file on the mod page that allows you to replace the Minutemen's uniforms with this USA Paratrooper uniform, meaning that you and your boys can finally roll out and commit war crimes in the Commonwealth in style. Now that we've got this equipped, let's move on to the first weapon. You know it, and you love it. It's the Tommy gun. This beautiful piece of work here is a mod put together by Naniac on Nexus Mods. It uses assets from Day of Infamy to give you a beautiful M1928A1 model Thompson. This is the Thompson model that is closest to the vanilla submachine guns in Fallout 4. This weapon gives you a ton of customization options, including being able to scale your Thompson down to the M1919 Annihilator or upwards to the M1A1 Thompson that was used during World War II. And here's the live fire test. And here it is again in the 1928 configuration. Overall, it's a superb weapon mod in an often underserved niche. I give it a 10 out of 10, you should absolutely try it. Next up, Mother Russia, as we look at the PPSh Reborn. This is a Call of Duty weapon port that's found its way into Fallout 4, and with it comes all of the attachments and animations and sounds from Call of Duty. Here's the live fire test with what would have been probably the standard issue PPSh at the time of World War II. And just for memes, here's a tactical version I put together on the workbench. PPSh, easily a 9 out of 10. Last weapon in this segment is the good old MP40. Now, I'd love to tell you some good things about this mod, and I can say that it is very visually appealing and it has an excellent reload animation, but the problem with this thing is that it's got issues. First thing I noticed was when I tried to take third-person camera shots, I noticed the magazine was in the wrong spot. I figured, oh, maybe this is just a weird variation. So I tried to walk back to the workbench to go check it out, and yeah, I'm holding forward. Okay, well, how about if I switch back to first person? Yeah, totally works in first person. The problem is when I switch back to third person, it stops working and I can't move forward anymore. Instead, my character does this weird, awkward side-to-side shuffle. So while I'd love to give this weapon a passing grade just for the fact that it looks and sounds and shoots so unbelievably well, it is effectively unusable for third-person players. Another note is, at the workbench, the MP40 really doesn't have anything available. And that's because the creator of this mod, Warfighter's Workshop, actually bundled this with a package of weapons that they just straight up abandoned for whatever reason. A real shame considering how awesome it looks and how amazing it sounds. Next, we're going on to pistols. Now, this first one won 2 world wars and it's back for more. This is the M1911 from Combined Arms, and yes, it's part of a bundle, but the whole bundle is worth the download, trust me. It's beautiful and in high res with a cool Vault Boy sticker, complete with amazing sounds and animations. And here we have the live fire test. Now it's a little bare on the workbench, but otherwise it's a solid 7 out of 10. Also coming from Combined Arms is the Tokarev TT33. This Red Army classic sounds meaty, has an excellent reload animation, and while it's similarly light on the workbench, it is still an excellent choice of sidearm. It's an easy 7 out of 10 for me. But while we're in Russia, let's check out this next one. This is the M1895 Nagant Revolver, and it comes to us from POV Combat, the same guys who made this outfit. And here's the live fire test for you right now. Now the revolver comes in both double action, as you saw there, and it also comes in single action as well. It's a very well-constructed mod, honestly, and I have a thing for revolvers, so immediate 9 out of 10. And on to the last pistol in this list is the P08 Luger. This is by Team Folan, who are the creators of Fallout London. It's got a pretty good firing sound, but there is an alternative firing sound you can use, and oh my god, just check out that reload mechanic. But wonderful reload and firing animations aside, unfortunately, neither of these animations actually displays in third person, which is kind of a bummer, but I mean, hey, if you're playing in first person, it's a nice visual treat. On the workbench, you have several different options to turn this into any sort of Luger variant that you want. If you want to get your hands on one when you have the mod installed, it's easy. All you gotta do is go to a shop, or because it's fully level list integrated, kill a gunner after level 15 and you'll be able to find Lugers in no time flat. Now staying in Germany, we're gonna look at the Sturmgewehr 44. This is the classic predecessor to the AK-47 and pretty much the basis on which most assault rifles have been built since. Oh my god, it sounds like a swarm of angry bees. Holy shit. It does sound pretty bad, but there is a foam mod installer that allows you to pick an alternate firing sound if you don't want to listen to this all day. Other than that, the textures are actually really good on this thing, and it has great workshop flexibility as well, so I wouldn't discount it just for the stock firing sound. It is also fully level list integrated, so you are going to find it on enemies around the Commonwealth, but it is fairly rare as a weapon. Swarm of angry bees aside, I do kind of like this thing anyway, so I'm just going to give it a 7 out of 10 for historical significance. The next one's another German rifle, and this one's a classic. It's the Kar 98K from Shaquille Wang. Now, it's really well done, and this is another port from Day of Infamy, just like the Thompson. I do have one glaring problem with this mod, and it is not compatible with see-through scope. It has a fake through scope compatibility, so I couldn't actually use any of the scopes, but they are available. The firing sounds are great on this thing, and the animations are taken from the Mosin Nagant rifle, which we're going to look at shortly, so they're pretty solid as well. It also uses the bullet counted reload system so that you can reload one bullet at a time. Now I'm going to knock some points back for fake through scope, but it gets a 7 out of 10 for me. And since we already mentioned it, let's move on to the Mosin Nagant. That's right, this is a moist nugget in Fallout 4. Made by FXOX01, this was one of the very first high-quality weapon mods ever made for Fallout 4. It looks incredible, and it sounds even better than it looks here in the firing test. Although a little confusing, if you want to put a scope on it, you're going to have to change it in the workbench to the sniper build, where you'll be able to put either the PE or the PU scope onto the rifle for long-range eliminations. After using it, it's easy to see why it's so well loved. Honestly, one of my favorites, and it provided the base for a lot of really good bolt actions moving forward. Easy 9 out of 10. And with that, I'm happy to announce our very first 10 out of 10 on the list, the Lee Enfield Mark IV. This is an incredible rifle, an incredible weapon mod. It looks amazing. It sounds great. It's leveled list integrated as well, so you will find it on enemies. It's my #1 bolt action sniper. I love using it. It sounds incredible. Now I want to show you something during the firing test here. Have a look. If you check out the firing animation, you'll see that the firing pin is actually animated, meaning when you cycle a new round into the gun, the firing pin gets reset to its original position. It slams forward to fire that round. Also, the reload animation is just phenomenal on this thing. Completely see-through scope compatible, and once again, it's a 10 out of 10. And for the final weapon in this category is the M1 Garand, and it comes to us from the same author who made the Lee Enfield Mark IV. It's no question that this mod carries the exact same quality. It's expertly crafted and features high-resolution textures as well as incredible firing sounds. Although it isn't out-of-the-box compatible with see-through scopes, it does have a patch, so make sure you look for that. Oh, just listen to that ping. Now, while you might think this makes for an excellent battle rifle but nothing else, don't worry, because this comes fully stocked with all sorts of workshop options. You can put all sorts of different sights on it, including glow sights, and you can even put a scope on it. I don't really like this scope, that's my only issue with it, but in the words of God Howard, it just works. And if you want to have a little extra fun, you can always put a hair trigger receiver on it and just start f***ing blasting with it. Overall, another 10 out of 10. Moving on to LMGs, the first one up is the Bren gun. This is another entry from Team Folan. That's the team that makes Fallout London. This is one of the most instantly recognizable guns in history. In my opinion, it's a very flavorful addition to the game, and this mod brings it directly to your hands for use in the Commonwealth. It's a little bare on the workbench, yes, but it does have just enough options to be able to suit your needs, whatever they might be. Now, when I took it to the range for the firing test, I noticed it had pretty good recoil for what it does. And since it uses 308 rounds, it has quite a bit of power behind it. Overall, I'd call it a 7 out of 10 and a fairly good option for a mid-range blaster. Next up, we go across the pond for an entry from another YouTuber, Degenerate Dak. This is his Colt Monitor BAR. It's not exactly the same BAR that you would see in World War II on the field, but it is more an FBI variant. He made an incredible video going over the mod and explaining it and showcasing the gameplay, so I won't go over too much here. But what I will say is that this is a fully equipped, awesome weapon mod. It's got over 55 new attachments made specially for this weapon. That means if you can think it, you can definitely build it on the workbench. Now, this variant that I'm using here is the green meanie variant, and it's one of the special variants found in the game. During the live fire test, I noticed that there was quite a bit of recoil with this. Now, there's probably attachments you can use to rectify that, but I decided to have a little more fun and see just how much recoil was actually on this bad boy, and you know what? It did not disappoint at all. This is an easy 9 out of 10 for me. I love this thing. Now, time for the last weapon in this video is the MG34 from Warfighter's Workshop. This weapon is another direct Call of Duty port, and it also ports all the attachments that came with the weapon in those games. It's absolutely phenomenal at what it does, although it's a little underpowered if you don't adjust the damage on the workbench. It also has one of the most beautiful reload animations I've ever seen. And of course, being a Call of Duty port, you have literally dozens of options. You probably have close to 100 different combinations of attachments you can make for this weapon alone, which makes it probably one of the best options for a classic World War II LMG. Definitely one of my favorites. I give it an 8 out of 10 for that sweet reload animation. And I'm gonna give you, the viewer, a 10 out of 10 for watching to this point. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'm Snail. If you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't like it, dislike it. Leave a comment with your thoughts and opinions down below. And subscribe if this video helped you find your new favorite gun in Fallout 4. All the mods you saw in this video today will be available in a collection down in the description. It's a Nexus mod link, so make sure you click that and look through the list to see what mods you would like to put in your load order. And if you find a mod you like, please endorse the mod on Nexus. It helps their mods get seen, and it tells everyone else how good their mod really is. Again, this video is sponsored by my band, Paul and Andy. Make sure you hit the link down in the description if you want to stream our new single, Hearts and Zero Gravity. And with that being said, take care, brush your hair. I am out of here. Peace.